Good afternoon. Man must rise above the earth to the top of the atmosphere and beyond, for only thus will he fully understand the world in which he lives. Welcome to 64th episode of Creative Online Talks. Astronomical events are events that takes place in the sky. When astronomer speaks of astronomical events, they are typically referring to anything that takes place in the universe, that is outside of the Earth's atmosphere. However, astronomical events more commonly refer to events that can be seen with the naked eye or a telescope from the Earth's surface. Today's topic of creative is celestial event. Learn, observe, track. In today's session, we are going to learn about how to observe and track upcoming celestial events. To present this, we have Mr. N. Sri Raghunandan Kumar sir with us today. Before starting the session, I like to brief about Creative. Creative is a group of people who are eager to gain new knowledge. Creative. Cre means creativity, active means activeness. Knowledge square is our tagline. Sharing of knowledge increases our knowledge. Vision of Creative to build constructive thinking in various domains. Our main focus on non-textual, non-academic and non-syllabus related concepts. Creative is a platform to the resource persons to share their views, experimental results, reviews and many more. I thank all our resource persons for engaging us with their knowledge and spending their time with us. Every Saturday, we are organizing weekend talks between 3 to 4 p.m. on Zoom platform and be live streaming in our YouTube channel. So I welcome today's resource person, Mr. Raghunandan sir, and I welcome all creative participants and creative volunteers for today's session. I call Mr. Sai Vamsi, a creative volunteer, to introduce today's speaker. Over to Sai Vamsi.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. 64th episode of Creative is about celestial event, learn, observe, track. To discuss this topic, we have Mr. N. Sri Raghunandan Kumar sir, who is director of Planetary Society of India, established in 2003, which is one of the few organizations in the country working consistently from a promotion of astronomy, space science, and technology among students and general publish simple Google search with keywords. Planetary Society India, etc., can lead to a large number articles published in print and electric media across India, authored by PSI. Mr. Kumar sir is founder and serves as Secretary of Planetary Society India since 20 years. In 2007 to 2010, worked with group of students, launched a satellite called StudSat-1. Kumar sir was national coordinator for NASA, Cassina scientist for one-day program in India 2009. Sir is being designated as most resources person by Government of India for Year of Physics IISc Bangalore, Year of Astronomy IIT Madras of NASA project of Government of India. In 2018, government school students in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh visited NASA facility in USA. 6 students of Telangana minority residential schools and 12 students of Kasturiba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya from Chitturu and Nelluru presented their poster or papers in international conference and on invitation of NASA associated programs and visited USA. From for ISRO Yuvika 2022, he installed astronomical telescope at NRSC and acted as resource person of for session session on astronomy. This is our pleasure to have Mr. N. Sri Raghunandan Kumar sir in our creative we can talk. Once again, welcome you, sir. Thank you, sir. Over
Thank
to
you,
Supriya
Vamsi.
ma'am.
Sir, this is the first time Vamsi is giving introduction. It's his first platform. Just we are thinking of training the students regarding this. So I thank you, Vamsi. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Vamsi, for introducing me. I know everybody is eager to know about various things because astronomy has always been subject of interest. So today, of course, this subject is very vast. So we will just focus on few of the things, mostly on this Jupiter opposition, which is going to happen, and also I will be telling you how to observe this planet Jupiter with the naked eye and how you can track it for a period of many days or months to come. Okay. So apart from that, we'll also discuss about the equinox, and this will be completely popular science kind of thing. And for this presentation today, I'll be using the material which we actually modified for this Yuvika program, which is aimed at young students by ISRO. It's an outreach activity of ISRO. So I was the resource person for that. So I'll be using that material, which we produced, or we can say modified, and try to encourage students. So thank you once again for hosting me, and so I'll just share my screen. I hope you can see this.
Yes, sir.
So friends, so this is the poster which is created, wonderfully created for this thing. So let's go to this presentation. So this presentation was originally sent by ISRO to us for basics of sky observation. So I'll be using some of these things. So I'll just touch, because as I wanted to directly go to the celestial events part, but I'll just give you a brief of where we are. Okay. So that is the scale of universe. Often you see this animation on YouTube and various places. I'll just rush through most of the basics of astronomy thing and come back to the Jupiter opposition, which is very essential event which I would like to focus on, and also the equinox and event which happened just yesterday. So here we can see astronomy is a very ancient subject, and you know what United Nations says in Unispace 3 Declaration says, when the first man looked at the sky and asked the question, what is that? That is when the foundation of modern science was laid. The ancient man, first time when he looked at the sky and he asked the question, what is that? That actually, the United Nations says, has laid the foundation of modern space science and technology. Okay, and India definitely has a deeper role in this thing, which will take a lot of time to explain. So I just, as I said, our focus is on this thing. So you can see here, so this particular presentation which ISRO has sent us to educate children was about telling them about the basics of sky observation. So in this, so if you see history of India in astronomy in
Sir, unmute yourself, sir. Raghunandan, sir. Unmute.
Sorry, somebody muted me or were you able
Yes.
to? were you able to-
Now it's audible, sir.
Oh, the last 5 minutes you were unable to hear me, madam?
No, sir.
Okay. So friends, even I am new to this kind of presentation mode. So I'm really not sure. The teachers have a lot of hard work with the Corona thing. Anyhow, so I'll do one thing. I'll just begin once again. So friends, first of all, thanks to you that you have this. Madam, can you hear me? Yeah, I think you can hear me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So friends, today astronomy is a very deep subject. It requires a lot of time to explain various concepts. But today we will just focus on the Jupiter celestial event, which is going to happen in 2 days, and also equinox event, which has happened yesterday. Okay, so just rest through. But before that, let us see some of the basics for our understanding. Okay, so I'm sharing this presentation. Yes. Okay. So basically, this presentation was prepared by ISRO, and they have sent it to us as we were part of this Yuvika program, which conducted by ISRO. So in that thing, I was a resource person, and our organization installed the telescopes with the help of some 5 engineers of ISRO at NRSC Shahadnagar and Hyderabad. So we installed these telescopes and we tried to observe 4 planets. That was for the participants of Yuvika, which is Yuvika is a program of ISRO involving students, young students. Okay, so the first thing to tell about astronomy is that if you see this Unispace 3 declaration of United Nations, it very simply says that when the first man look at the sky and ask the question, what is that? When you look at the sky and when you question with curiosity, what is that? That question actually laid the foundation of modern space science technology, what we see today. Okay, so the first man, the ancient man, when we were looking up and asking what is that bright thing and all this, when he has these questions, that has actually laid the foundation for modern sciences, what modern space science, what Unispace declaration says. So this is very ancient subject because ancient man is again we need to go into the deep of the history to find out. But in one word, the United Nations clearly says the curiosity to look up at the skies actually is the laid the foundation of space science technology. Fine. So in this presentation, basically we were to teach the children about basics of observation and all. Of course, I will not go into the various topics of that one. We can do it some other day. So, but today we will just understand briefly about some of the things. Of course, India has a greater role in astronomy. Just yesterday, we happened to go conduct one observation some 200 kilometers from Hyderabad. We went to a place called Budumala in Telangana, in Magnur district. It is this site, archaeological site, is in the border of Telangana and Karnataka on Raichur Road. So there, when we went there, we saw there we conducted an observation. There was some rock formation which is some 3,500 years old. From there, the ancient people at that time they observed the sun and tried to understand about the seasons. So I will come to that one. So this is just an example of how astronomy had played important role in our country and in the history of astronomy around the world. Definitely, India has a greater place. Of course, a lot of things have to be brought forward because there are many things that I told you yesterday. Besides what we went there, that is not known to anyone. Most of the people, they don't know that there is a structure, astronomical structure built 3,500 years ago to observe sun in the borders of Telangana and Karnataka. So right, so of course we also heard about Aryabhatta and various other sages or the ancient scientists, we can say, who propounded various theories, and also Aryabhatta, is said to say that he explained how the eclipses happened because of the motion of sun, moon, and earth. Okay, so yeah, this is the site I was actually talking about. You can see here, these are the rock formations. These are erected by people some 3,500 years ago, as the local historians, archaeology department says. So these rocks, some 80 rocks are there. So these rocks are placed in such a way that you can track sun. Okay. So I wish I could share all those photographs, but as time was very short, yesterday I was there. We were planning for this since over a week. So when I talk about the equinoxes, I will explain you what exactly is this thing. So interesting thing is that in United Kingdom there is something called Stonehenge. You can see on the bottom corner of here. So here also many people visit UK to see the Stonehenge. Okay, so there you can see, if you visit this place Stonehenge in the month of March, June, September, and December, I will tell you the dates also. Then you can see the position of the sun is changes. Okay, so in the similar way, even in our own country, we have this Nilu Rallu of Mudumala. Okay, here you will see these huge rocks 12 to 14 feet. Some 80 rocks are there. These are called many hills. Okay, many hills. So since March this year, we are trying to conduct an observation on the both equinoxes and solstices. Take the photograph of sun from this particular location and tell the world about this particular site. Interestingly, I have started visiting the site only in 2002, but way back in 2010, when a news report came that these rocks have been removed by some local farmers using JCBs, so that news has come, and immediately we jumped into action and we try to protect it even before visiting it. So after 12 years, I got the opportunity to visit this place, and coming days will share all this information. So all in all, the point is that India has a greater role. Means you can see how people over there in so many years ago try to observe this sun's position, because there was no instruments, nothing was accessible. But with the help of these rocks, they could establish when to sow a seed and when to cut. Okay, so fine friends, so we'll do one thing, we'll just go through. Of course, India has many places these sundials installed. The prominent were Jantar Mantar. Okay, and these are the other instruments which are used. So of course, Western astronomers have the credit of observing astronomical events with the help of telescopes and all. Of course, these are the modern day things. So this is as we wanted to talk about sky observation. So the coordinate systems and all these things were explained to the students. So I will just skip this thing because we have only 1 hour time today. So constellations, some of the things which you want to understand when you are going for sky observation is coordinate systems, and also about constellations. So without any of these things, at the end of my talk today, you will be able to identify planet Jupiter with your own eyes, and you will able to you'll learn how to observe it, and you will really observe it today or for many days, and you can even track also. Okay, so that is the reason we have in our poster we have said learn, observe, and track. Okay, so of course, friends, when you go outside in the evening, we see these constellations in the sky. Okay, so these are the patterns of stars. There are very prominent of them are there in this. So these are Ursa Major, and of course, basically these patterns of stars are nothing but They appear as if they are all together, but in reality, they are separated by enormous distance. If you see, you take this prominent constellation called Orion, you can see here, though this Orion appears like this, the stars inside them are, if you see this particular star, it is near here. Whereas the farthest star is even very far. Okay, you can see this with the help of this table over here. We can understand that these stars are not put together, but there is enormous distance separating each of them. Okay, so this picture clearly explains to you how this is how it appears in the sky for us. But in reality, the light from each of the star, travels enormous distance and comes to us, and we see it as a single picture. Fine. So yeah, these are some other constellations. So friends, so this is about the brief about this particular thing, and we'll come back to this presentation a bit later, and we'll go to the actual part of our presentation today, that is the celestial events. Okay, so this let me just go take you to the presentation about the celestial events. So friends, this is of course the beautiful poster created by Creative. Yes. And as I told you, Yuvika is the ISRO's prestigious student program. So this year, every year they conduct this. You can also participate in this one. Students of 9th and 10th class, 8th and 9th class students are eligible to apply this one. So this year already it is conducted. Since last 6 to 7 years, this is being conducted, I suppose. So there was brief break in Corona, so you can also participate in this thing. Right. So today, friends, we will discuss these are the various celestial events. Of course, in this also, I will only focus on a few of them because time is very short. And in coming days, we'll have series of talks because there are very interesting celestial events which are going to occur this year, and we can observe it in the sky. And mostly, we don't require telescopes. Many people think that we require telescopes to observe planets and other things. But actually, in fact, without the aid of telescopes, we can actually track these planets and other things. So one second, so right. Yes. So first thing, in the beginning of year, every year, what we see is a perihelion and aphelion. Of course, we have studied about these things in the school. Perihelion is so if you see our Earth goes around the sun, so it does not go in a circular form. It goes in elongated ellipse way. So because of this, at one point of time, our Earth is close to sun, and at one point of time, it is at the farthest point. So every year in the month of January, that is on 3rd, 4th, or sometimes 5th also, what happens is that Earth reaches the nearest point to sun, and that is called perihelion. And of course, when it has come close to Earth, then it also goes farther away. So that is called aphelion, and this aphelion happens on in the month of July on 4th or 5th. Okay, every year this annual event happens. So at one point of time, Earth is closer to sun, and at one point of Earth is farther away from sun. So, but interestingly, if you see that when in the month of January, in India, if you see, most of the cities are covered, they face this severe cold, isn't it? So the question is that if Earth is close to sun in the month of January, how is that it is so cold? It should be hot, isn't it? This is the common idea we will get. But interesting thing, friends, is that the distance of Earth near to sun or closer to sun does not really cause our seasons. Our seasons are caused by a different phenomena, that is axial tilt, which is 23.5 degrees. Okay, so because of this, we will experience our seasons. So whereas though Earth is close to sun in the month of January, we have very cold in most of the cities. We freeze with cold actually. So we understood that the distance of Earth to sun does not cause our, or in the month of July, Earth is very far from sun at the farthest point in aphelion. So At that time, again, it should, when it is far, it should be cold. But we'll be just experiencing, after summer, we'll be just coming into this winter season starting for us. Okay. So now you understood the importance of perihelion and aphelion. Now let us go to the, so when this happened this year. So this year on 4th of January, we had a perihelion, whereas on 4th of July, we had this aphelion. Okay. So this is what, and apart from this, and as I told you, the seasons are caused by the axial tilt of Earth. So this is where the question of equinoxes and solstices come. So what I will do is that I will not give you the technical part of it. I'll just show you how exactly actually happens, because our textbook talks about what is equinox, solstice, various things which we sometimes we do not understand. So today my attempt is that I like to tell you that if you learn how to what exactly happens, you can start observing it, and also you can keep tracking of this. So friends, if you see on the right side corner of this particular screen here, you can see where the sun is in the month of January. Okay, then February, then March. So exactly in the March it is equinox here. Then when exactly sun rises from the exact east, that is when we will see this equinox. That is the day and night. On the day of equinox, day and night are equal. Okay. Then again, if you see, is generally we learn in our school that sun rises in the east and sun rises in the west, whereas it is not like that. Sun sometimes, what exactly happens is that sun sometimes in the year.
Okay.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Sir, please go ahead. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
So sun sometimes rises between northeast and east, and sometimes east and southeast directions. Okay. So whereas only on two or three occasions we can say that exactly it rises in the east. So you can see here how the sun actually have a simulation also to show you how this happens. So you can see here in February you can see the sun is here. In March and April, somebody has taken the photographs of sun over a period of year, and we just collected it. And the same thing we are trying to do at Mudumala also. So you can see here this May how it is. Again, in the month of June, when the solstice is there, so sun has reached this extreme point. Again, so this is when we will see the solstice. And again, from June onwards, it will again start its journey back to the place where it was. Like if you see, this is July, you can see sun here, then August and September, that is yesterday when we went, it came to the same place where it was in the month of March. Okay, so it goes on like this: October, November, and December. So friends, so this is what exactly which happens for Earth, and these are very important. The two equinoxes which happen every year and solstices, we can say that they are the milestones in the journey of Earth around Sun. Okay, and one thing you have to wonder is that when you see the Sun movement is happening like this, even in the same way, the seasons also around us change. So there are many students who are watching this presentation. So this presentation is mostly focused at them because this presentation is for Yuvika students. So children, what you can do is that you can actually start observing our sun. Say from today, every week, once a week, you can just observe sun. You take some reference point above your house, somewhere in the horizon. And if you take a picture of the sun every week, okay, at that given point of time, one given point of day, at the end of the year, next September, you will be able to share a picture like this. The entire movement of how the sun is happening, means how it is moving, and again it's coming back. This all thing you can observe, and you can also note the season which is changing. Okay, so that is the reason we called this presentation as learn, observe, and track. Okay, so you can just track the sun for a period of entire year. Just spare 5 minutes a week. Just go above your house. You take the picture of the sun. Okay, and you will see the difference maybe you can take the picture at sunrise or sunset, but see that the time is same time, same date in a week. Okay, so this is what. So this year we had the equinox happening on March 20th. Of course, that is 20th of March, and again the second equinox of the year happened on 23rd September, yesterday. So this was the reason yesterday we went 200 kilometers from Hyderabad, and we went and conducted the observation. So that's the reason I could not prepare this presentation properly, more easily for you. But of course, I hope this will be satisfied by end of this thing, presentation. Then there is a solstice which happens on 21st of June. Okay, this has already occurred, and the next solstice is on 21st of December. So you very well know, we also learned in the school that the longest day, daylight time happens on in the month of June, whereas the shortest night, what we'll soon see, longest night what we'll see will be somewhere in the month of December, 21st of December. You can observe this particular thing, because on that day we have this solstice happening. Right. So friends, apart from this, so we just now learned about equinoxes and solstices. So I'm not going much of the definition. Then, apart from this, friends, what happens is that people always think that how to observe planets. So they think that it is only with the telescopes you can see, but actually without the telescopes also you can keep tracking the planets. For example, right now for next 6 months, with the help of moon, you can actually look at planets. Okay, so we can actually with the help of moon, like what happens is that every day if you see moon, it changes its place. Okay, so if you observe, sometimes it will be near Venus, sometimes the next day it will be near some other object. So every day it will be near your newer object than the previous day in our night sky. So with the help of moon, we can locate planets. So when moon is near certain planet, it's called conjunction. So these conjunction events we can utilize to locate the planets. So every month, at least you'll get 4 opportunities, 4 times. Means easily you can use the moon to locate planet. So for example, in coming days you can see moon with Jupiter, moon with Mars, moon with Saturn, moon with Venus, like that. In coming months, every month you can locate. So I will try to update you and give you my number. If you just follow that one, you can actually locate planets. You just look at the moon and you can track it. So basically what happens is that when you are trying to look at planets, they just appear like stars. They don't twinkle compared to other stars. So with this simple difference, you can actually locate this planets. Okay, so that is it. And yeah, this is the important part of the presentation which I wanted to talk today. Friends, you know that not only Earth, even planets also go around Sun. So if you see, what happens is that sometimes while Earth is going around Sun, what happens is that there is something. What happens is a particular planet, like superior planets, which are beyond the orbit of. Actually, Earth is removed from this one. Mars is removed in this particular presentation to explain you. So what exactly happens is that these 3 planets, for example, 3 objects, that is Sun, Earth, and Jupiter, they come in one straight line. Okay, so what exactly happens is that Jupiter takes some 12 years to go around Sun, whereas Earth takes 365 days to go around Sun. So what exactly happens is not always the position is like this. For example, now Earth is here. Okay, so it goes around Sun in 365 days. So whereas Jupiter is still trying to complete its orbit. So on 27th of September this month, what exactly is going to happen is, this is what is going to happen. If you were to go above the solar system, okay, from the bird's eye view, you may say, if you look at our solar system, this is what exactly is going to happen on 27th September 2022. That is Jupiter, Earth, and Sun, then we can say that there will be one kind of straight line. And whenever this happens, when the particular object is opposite to Sun in reference from a perspective of Earth, it is called opposition. Okay, so Jupiter opposition is going to happen on 23rd of September, 27th of September, another 2-3 days from now, this Jupiter opposition is going to happen. So what exactly happens is, if you see that, we just focus on this particular part of this slide. In month of January, Earth was somewhere here, Jupiter was somewhere here. Okay, so Earth was moving like this. Jupiter also was, as I told you, it was somewhere here. It was moving like this. Okay, so again, so on 27th of September, exactly, Jupiter, Earth has actually came closer to, means it came to this point. So what happens is that if you see Earth is, the distance between Earth and Jupiter, if you see from January, in the month of January or in the month of February, compared to what we are going to see on 27th September, the distance is enormous. Okay, of course, normally it is very enormous, but the difference is very huge. For Earth, the distance between Earth and Jupiter is very huge when in the month of January. But as months passed by, in February, the distance reduced. Then it, again, March, April, June, July, like that. So finally, on 27th of September, because of this opposition event, this Jupiter, the distance between Jupiter and Earth is reduced. Okay, so now the newspapers are already writing that the distance, the nearest coming closer of Jupiter is record breaking. And NASA has given a release saying that this is happening after 59 years. Means if you see, one thing I need to tell you is that this opposition of Jupiter happens every 13 months. Every year it happens. Whereas if you see, since 1963 till September 27th, if you see that the closeness of Jupiter coming close to Earth, so what we are going to see on 27th of September is going to be the closest it will be in the entire year, not only year, again also in last 59 years. Okay, so now coming to the, so now you understood that planets go around Sun. Not always all planets are at one place, opposite to each other or something. But when Earth is going around Sun, at some point of time, it will be having face-off with Jupiter and sometimes Mars, sometimes Saturn. Okay, so whenever from the perspective of Earth, if that particular planet is opposite to Sun, okay, then we call opposition. So this opposition is very interesting event, children, because if you see Jupiter, if you have seen Jupiter in the month of January, Jupiter means even for the eye also, it was not much bright. Okay, but as days passed by, in February, March, April, now it has become very brightest. Okay, why it has become very bright? Because the distance had reduced. Not only the brightness has increased, the apparent diameter of this planet, as seen from the telescope, it also appeared very big compared to any part of the year. Okay, so whenever whenever this Jupiter opposition happens, we can say that Jupiter is closest, brightest, and biggest. Okay, so in the introduction I forgot to tell you, I write for various newspapers. So since last 15 years I've been writing, and my articles get published across the country. In another 2 days, you can see my article on this particular celestial event, which is going to happen on 27th. Okay, so what is interesting about this opposition is, friends, is that if you see on 27th of September, when if you see when sun is setting, Jupiter will be rising. Again, all through the night, Jupiter will be there in the sky. And when Jupiter is setting or sun is rising, when sun is rising, Jupiter will set. That is, if you see here, 180-degree angle you can see here. If you are, let us say you are standing here. On 27th of September, you are standing on Earth here. So on one side you will see Sun, and other side you will see Jupiter. So obviously in our sky, what will happen is that when Jupiter is when Sun is setting, Jupiter will be rising, and when in the evening when Sun is setting, Jupiter will be rising, and when Sun will be rising in the morning, Jupiter will be setting in the west direction. So what you have to do is that on 27th, just come out of your house, stand, and just stretch your hands like this. Just look to the direction opposite the Sun. Okay, then there you will see. You should be able to see Jupiter. But wait for some 30 minutes, because Jupiter has to clear all your buildings around your house, trees, and all those things. It will take some time. But with the help of this, because of this opposition event, you can easily spot Jupiter. Okay. So friends, this is about Jupiter opposition. Then not only Jupiter, even Saturn opposition also happens every year, but this year already, if you see here the table over here, if you see here, already this Jupiter Saturn opposition has already over on 14th of August. Okay, that means even Saturn also is very much closer to Earth as of now compared to any part of the year. Okay, so on 14th of August, if you see, if you were to see, on one side you have Sun and other side we have Saturn. And while the Sun is setting, Saturn is rising. While the Sun is rising in the east, Jupiter is setting in the west. So without having much difficulty to identify the planets, you can just look in the opposite directions of the Sun in the morning or the evening, and you can actually catch hold of the planet without much of trouble. Okay. So now this you understood that Jupiter opposition happens, Saturn opposition happens. We also have this year, the speciality of 2022 is that Mars opposition is going to occur this year. So what is Mars opposition? If you see here in the month of December, you see here the opposition date. On 8th of December, what is going to happen is you will see an article. If you need to search, I don't know whether it's getting published in Karnataka or not. My article will be Mars is closest, brightest, and biggest. Okay, so my article will be coming in the newspaper on 8th of December. So what exactly is happening? On the day of 8th of December, you will see this. If you were to see the solar system from above, you would see that Mars, Earth, and Saturn are one straight line, one kind of straight line. Or in other words, as seen from Earth, Mars is opposite to Sun. That's the reason it's called Mars opposition. So friends, this Mars opposition is not only means it is once every 2 years this Mars opposition event happens, and at the time, because Mars is close to Earth, it will be very bright and very big to observe from a telescope. And not only that, you can easily locate it, as I told you, opposite side of the Sun. After sunset, if you look in the opposite side of where Sun has set, you can spot Mars. Okay, and not only that, it will be brightest. If you see Mars today, and if you see Mars in the month of December, the difference is it's enormous and it is very bright. Okay, just give me one small break. I need to just attend one call. Hello. అవునండి, అది 4:30. నేను ఒక ప్రజెంటేషన్లో ఉన్నా 4:30. మీరు ఇక్కడ కృష్ణకాంత్ పార్క్ వచ్చి కాల్ చేయండి. Yes, friends. So as Jupiter is coming close to Earth, there is one TV channel has called me. They want a presentation on this one. On this Jupiter opposition. Why this? Because already it is in news. Why this? So the media people want to know why exactly this Jupiter is coming close to Earth. So today I try to explain to you that planets go around the Sun, like Earth also. As Earth is going around, planets also going around Sun. At some point of time, what happens is that as Earth moves very fastly around the Sun, whereas Jupiter takes 12 years and Saturn takes somewhere like 30 years. some point of time in the Earth's orbit, this kind of situation will happen. That is, Sun, Earth, and that particular object will be one straight line, and at that time, that particular planet will be very close to Earth. Okay. So presently, Jupiter opposition is the news for people for next coming days. So how near and how far means this particular Jupiter is? See, this Jupiter is going to be somewhere like 59 crore 13 lakh 60,382 kilometers. Okay, the distance between Earth and Jupiter on that particular on 27th is somewhere like 59 crore kilometers. Whereas this is not the exact exact minimum distance. Or if you see the minimum distance of Jupiter, it is if you see the minimum distance and if you see the maximum distance, it is the number is huge. So somewhere like 600 million kilometers like that. Okay, but I don't have the million figure. I converted this figure into crores. So on 27th, we have this Earth and Jupiter. The distance is somewhere like 59 crore kilometer, and NASA says that this is the closest in last 59 years. Okay, so do not miss the opportunity to observe this Jupiter. So friends, coming back to Mars opposition, as I told you about Jupiter opposition, then I told about Saturn opposition, then we are talking about Mars opposition. This Mars opposition, of course, Saturn opposition also happens every year, okay? But Mars opposition happens only once in 2 years, okay? So this Mars opposition is very essential for astronomers, for ISRO or space agencies. You know why? See, we send missions to Mars only when Mars is very near to Earth. If you send any mission to Mars when it's very far, it will have a lot of difficulty to reach Mars. You need to have the fuel and so many factors planned. So whenever this planet Mars is close to Earth, then only our space agencies send this space missions. Okay, if you see our Mars orbiter mission, India has sent Mangalyaan. Okay, it was launched on 5th November 2013 because there was one opposition which is going to occur in the year of 2014. In 2014, we had Mars opposition. As I told you, every 2 years, this Mars opposition occurs. So whenever Mars opposition occurs, at the time that taking that into consideration, maybe some 6 to 7 months before the date of opposition, various space agencies they send a mission to planet Mars. Okay, so our India also has sent a mission to Mars on November of 2013, because in September, somewhere in the month of April of 2014, there was one opposition of Mars. So friends, today you understood that how opposition is very essential, not only for observers. For observers, it is very easy to locate planets, and because it will be that particular object will become closer, it will become brighter. Whereas for space agencies, Mars opposition offers them an opportunity to observe or send mission to this particular planet at a very lesser distance compared to the time when it is at the farthest point. As you know, friends, that these planets all are in elliptical order. So sometimes they are near to Sun and sometimes they are farther to Sun. So what is interesting about Jupiter opposition is, see, in the month of January, Jupiter will be at the closest point to, means it will be at perihelion. That is a time when Jupiter is closer to Sun than any part of the its journey. So this year perihelion means this Jupiter perihelion is going to occur in the month of January next year, 2023, because it is even in its own orbit, it is close to Sun, and this opposition is happening 6 months before this perihelion of Jupiter. It is offering us the closest in last 59 years. In simple words, what I am trying to tell you is that, of course, every 13 months Jupiter opposition occurs, but this year's opposition is very special and very closer because Jupiter also, because it also goes in an elliptical order around the Sun. It's not exactly circular. So at one point of time, Jupiter is close to Sun, and sometimes on one point of time it is farthest point from Sun. So interestingly, coincidentally, is that that Jupiter will in the month of January 2023, Jupiter is going to be reaching at perihelion, the closest point it can get. Okay, so just 6 months before this perihelion, the opposition of Jupiter is occurring. That's the reason now Jupiter is very bright. So today evening, means on 27th or today evening, or many weeks, or I can say that till end of the year, friends, you can track this Jupiter. Okay, every day you can see this Jupiter very bright. But what exactly will happen is that as the days pass on, Earth will be moving away. After 27th, what will happen? On 27th, this is the situation. But after 27th, Earth will be moving away. So the distance will be increasing. So as the distance will be increasing, the brightness of that particular will be getting reduced for a period of many weeks. Okay. So like that, but one thing easily you can do is that easily every day you can locate this Jupiter with the naked eye, and if you have a telescope, you can see the finest features of Jupiter also. Okay, so friends, so this is about the opposition of celestial events or celestial bodies like Jupiter, Saturn, and all these things I have explained to you. So we just rushed through other points of it. Already it's 4 o'clock. So once again, so far we have talked about the equinoxes, and we have talked about this thing. There are 2 more interesting events which are going to occur this year. Okay, so anybody who is attending the presentation today has come to know about the opposition equinox. There are 2 more celestial events. They are 1 second. See this? Yeah. So before that, I just want to show you this one. Means we actually take photographs of the planets. So you can see at one point at some time we have taken the photographs of planets. You can see this is Mars, this is Saturn over here, this is Venus. So in coming days, I'll be sharing all these kind of updates before they appear in the sky. Means whenever there's a conjunction, I'll post the details of that one in the group so that you people can observe it. Okay, and so you can actually take the photographs also. And this was in the month of April. In the newspapers it has come saying that 4 planets in one line. Okay, children, you can see here. This is Saturn, this is Mars, this is Venus over here, and this is Jupiter. So if you draw a line, imaginary line, so you may see that they are all in one straight line kind of thing. So we actually take photographs of these celestial events when they happen, and we share it with the people, and we also inform people so that they can actually observe these events. Okay, so I hope you liked it. And not only that, there was one opposition in 2020. So what we did is that we actually you can see that Mars is in my 2 fingers. Okay, so I took this selfie with Mars. So you people also can take selfie with Jupiter day after tomorrow and share it with your friends and ask them to observe this thing. So friends, in this picture you can see here, this is Mars as observed from Earth's surface. And here in this is a NASA image, Curiosity rover has sent this one. You can see here how Earth is appearing from Mars surface. Can you see here, children? So this is how Earth is appearing from the rover, which is on the surface of Mars. From there, you can see how Earth is. And here we are seeing Mars as we are seeing from Earth. So these are the 2 interesting views. Not only that, this year, in the month of December, you can actually see planet Mars, which is coming close to Earth. Okay, and this is this is about solar eclipse and lunar eclipse, how they occur and all these things. Again, I will not go into the details because the time is very less. Okay, so we have this things explaining us, these slides explaining us about how solar partial and full solar eclipse occur and the lunar eclipses occur. Okay, so yeah, these are the important dates. Yes. So friends, next month we are going to see one partial eclipse of sun. Okay, so the date, if you have pen and paper, please note down. On 25th of October, we are in India. We are going to see partial solar eclipse, which is going to occur on 25th of October. Okay, so it happens after the later part of the day, that is somewhere around 4 o'clock. Exact time also I will tell you. It should be in the next slide. So this event you observe means anybody who is attending today's presentation, of course they will see Jupiter. Okay, they'll be tracking it until this thing, and also they will observe Sun for a year and actually take photographs. Not only that, on 25th of October we have this partial solar eclipse. Okay, so what exactly will happen? I don't need to tell you much of this. You very well know that between Earth and this is what exactly will happen on the day between Earth and your Sun. This Moon is coming here. Okay, and because of that, it is obscuring some part of light. But now, normally, total solar eclipses are very popular. But this particular eclipse, which is going to happen there on 25th of October, is a partial solar eclipse, and this is the last solar eclipse of the year. The earlier eclipse was occurred on 30th April, but it was not visible. But 25th in India, whereas this 25th October, which is visible in India, and we can, with the help of solar filters, actually we can see this solar eclipse. Okay, and you may say that, sir, I don't have solar eclipse. What to do? So you can make a small pinhole camera. With the help of that, you can see. Or what you can do is that on the day, we can just take one paper, stand near a wall. You know, your back should be towards the sun. Make a hole to that paper and just see that the sunlight passes through the sun and it falls onto the wall. Okay. So if you don't observe the sun directly, you observe the wall. Then you will see that the wall, the circular, light which is coming from this particular hole which you made into the paper and on the wall, you'll see that it was actually full and slowly it is getting covered. Okay, slowly it is getting eclipsed. Again, after some time, the eclipse is over. Means the shadow of the moon is actually moving up. So in this way, you can safely, even without your solar filter, you can actually note this solar eclipse. So this is going to happen on 25th of October. Then last eclipse of the year, which is a total lunar eclipse, this is going to happen on 8th November. Okay, so 8th November, you can just come out of your house without any aid of anything. You can just look at moon. You can actually see how the moon's disk is getting covered. You know how does a lunar eclipse occur, children? That happens because moon actually is sliding into the shadow of Earth. Okay, so this is what exactly is going to happen on this year on 8th November. Okay, so you are going to see this Jupiter. We're going to track it, and also please utilize the opportunity to see this partial solar eclipse, which is going to happen on 25th of October. Okay, then 8th November we have this total lunar eclipse. Of course, I request Srinath sir, we can call some other experts also, and if possible, on the day of this eclipse, we can even Creative can do a live streaming of this eclipses and observation and all. So all in all, it will create tremendous awareness because our country is launching Aditya L1. ISRO is launching Aditya L1. Maybe it will be launched next year. So it's going to observe, study about sun. So friends, if you observe all these celestial events like this, definitely you will be able to make a career when you go to the colleges. You can take the relevant subjects and also work on real missions which go close to these planets and objects and do more research. Okay, so this is the thing, and you can note down the timings of the solar eclipse, which is happening on 25th of October 2022. So in the Indian Standard Timing, it starts at 2:28 p.m. in the afternoon. Okay, and it goes on to up till 6:32 p.m. From 2:28 p.m. to 6:32 p.m. This partial solar eclipse is going to occur next month. Okay, so and the greatest point in the middle of the eclipse will be at 4 o'clock. Okay, so in India we can actually witness these partial phases of the eclipse. Okay, and some parts in India would be missing because they are not in the path of this eclipse. Okay, so this is the path. This is the path of this eclipse. So means these areas, the areas where this eclipse is visible, you can see. So here we can see the end part of this eclipse. We are able to notice from our India. But if you see the northeastern states, some of the northeastern states are not in the path. They will be missing it. Okay. So this is how it will be here. This is a simulation how it will be visible from Hyderabad. So you can see this is sun, and a part of sun's disk, okay, is cut off. So similar would be the situation in Bengaluru also or across India. This part of the sun will be cut, and for a safe viewing you have to use this eclipse viewer. Okay. So if you don't have the eclipse viewer, as I told you, you can make pinhole camera and safely observe it. Right. So now coming to the total lunar eclipse, which is going to occur on 8th of November. So again, the timings of this eclipse, of course, an eclipse begins with the penumbra, means moon entering the Earth's penumbra, umbra, again leaving penumbra, and umbra, like that. Then it leaves penumbra. So this will be the sequence. But what in this, if you see that the eclipse actually starts, the lunar eclipse on 8th of November actually begins even before it is sunset. Okay. So after sunset, immediately after sunset onwards, we can actually see the ending part of though it is a total lunar eclipse, the totality part would be seen in some places in our India. Okay, like in somewhere in Ahmedabad and all, they may be seeing where the moon rising early. But most of the part of in India, we will be missing we may miss the totality, but we can actually see the ending part of the this total lunar eclipse, which is going to occur on 8th November. Okay, so the timings you can see here, it is 13 hours. This is 1 o'clock, 1:30 p.m. The eclipse starts in various phases, and it ends at 7:30 in the evening. That means from sunset to 7:30, we will be able to see this total lunar eclipse in Bengaluru, Hyderabad, or most part of our India. Okay, so don't miss this opportunity. So, and you can see here, this map actually shows you where are the places where entire lunar eclipse can be seen, and where are the places where the ending part can be seen. You can see here U3 and U4. The final parts of the eclipse event we can see in India. So these are the areas which we can see. They are marked showing. Okay. So friends, that was what was there about the major things. Actually, there are more things to tell you about the comets, meteor showers, and these days some newspapers regularly writing asteroids coming close to where they are hit us. Means most of them they just go. But in this picture you can see how the neighborhood of Earth is surrounded. So this is the asteroid belt. Okay, so this is between Mars and Jupiter. We have this asteroid belt. So sometimes these asteroids they pass through Earth, and they are making very big news these days. Unfortunately, they are sensationalizing and trying to create some kind of fear, saying that it may hit. But most of the time, we can safely say that no such dangerous asteroids are passing. Which that dinosaurs were extinct because of one such particular meteor which hit Earth. But as far as on today, if you see the scientific data, there is no such threatening asteroid which is going to hit Earth and wipe us out. Okay, so just whenever you see the news next time, just be careful saying that these are all just going to miss us. Then we also have meteor showers, children. Every year, a dozen of meteor showers you can see. This year also in November month, we can see Leonid meteor showers. December we can see Gemini meteor showers. Okay, so we will have a separate session on how a meteor actually happens and how to observe it. So whether we can see this meteor shower which is happening in November, December easily or not, also we can discuss in the other sessions in coming days. So all in all, not only that, these days even sun also is very busy. Participants, see that what happens is that sun has a cycle, 11-year cycle. So at one point of time, the sun is not much active; it is very dormant. But sometimes it is, it is bursting with activity. So friends, now sun has again come to this thing. So by 2025, sun will be at peak. So what will happen is that we will be seeing large number of sunspots which are appearing on the face of sun. Of course, this also requires subtle explanation of why the black spots in the sun, sunspots appear on the sun, and how the coronal mass ejection and material is thrown to Earth, and how Earth protects us with the help of its magnetic field, how it is protecting us. All this we can see. So what I'm trying to tell through this particular slide is that even these days also we are seeing that the geomagnetic storms are reported. Okay, as if something is strange is going to happen. But we can fairly say that Earth is protected not only with the atmosphere, it is helping us a lot. It also has this magnetic field which actually repels most of this coronal mass ejection and particles which are charged particles which are coming from sun. But all in all, up till 2025, you people can be rest assured that you'll be regularly seeing the news of solar tsunami, solar storm in the local TV channels and all. But you can just understand that this is nothing but an activity which is happening on sun, and our Earth is protected. But this media people, they make it as if something. It's the end of the world kind of thing they say. But you can understand. Of course, we can have a lot of researchers out there who are working on sun and the magnetic field and all these things. So we can plan a session. So these are also the events, celestial events, because our presentation today is celestial events. So I just mentioned this one. And so telescope observations, we can with the help of telescopes, you can see known planets, ISS and other things. And friends, last but not least, you can see here, there was this research published by scientists, what exactly at the center of the galaxy. So this particular visual explains you. So friends, we can actually see the center part of the galaxy. So you can see this cloud kind of structure. Okay. So this is actually the center part of our galaxy. So hundreds of years ago, maybe it was very easy for our ancestors to look at the sky and look the sky like this, and they could see the center part of our Milky Way galaxy. But of course, these days, a lot of pollution we cannot see. But in this particular flight, astronomers are telling us there is at the center of this Milky Way galaxy, there is something called Sagittarius Star. This particular thing was discovered. It is a huge black hole which is at the center of the Milky Way galaxy. So when we started our organization in 2003, we didn't know what is at the center of the Milky Way galaxy. And students used to ask us, we have to tell them that maybe there is a black hole. But now, over a period of time, the times have changed, the research has been published, and now we realize that there is the big black hole also, and you can see this is the picture which has been taken by the scientists, and this is what exactly is. So these are the things, friends, which actually wanted to share with you. Of course, there are some other things also are there. Just let me take a brief. Let me show you briefly this particular thing, and we'll conclude this session. It's already 4:20, so I didn't know that it will take so much of time. So friends, not only that, not only planets and all, we normally you see the sky like this. So one day I was looking at the sky, suddenly the clouds were there. You know what I did? At that time, immediately I went into this mosam.imd website, and you can see I tried to give an explanation why these clouds are happening, because these cloud-like structures were moving from Hyderabad. Understood, friends? So this is the satellite image taken by InSat 3D satellite, 36,000 kilometers from Earth. So today we can explain many things with the help of the technology what we have. We can actually see India from space. We can see what is happening on sun. We can also see what is happening inside the Earth. The National NGRI people, they regularly conduct this research. Okay, so today science is there. So now this presentation actually tries to inspire you to understand all these things, brief it and also observe it and also track it. So friends, you can see this. These are the data which are shared by the weather department locally. So this is the live data, the rain and all. So astronomy, our organization not only creates awareness about celestial events, we also share this interesting information. This is the automatic weather station data published by our Telangana Development TD APS is the organization. So with the help of automatic weather station, we actually can see where the rain is happening, how much it is happening and all. Some 1100 such kind of weather stations have been installed by and you can also make one weather station also, a small weather station for yourself. So friends, thank you very much for listening to me, and I also thank Creative for inviting me for this presentation. So if any questions you have related to what you have seen, I know you have many questions about black holes and all these things, but let us restrict our questions to today's thing, what I explained. Okay, because each question again will require a lot of presentation. So my request is that you can just be specific to this particular presentation for slides what we showed just now. So thank you very much for listening to me. So any questions, madam? Which have been, I think there are some questions people have asked in the chat. Those questions.
If any question, you can raise your hand. Only 2 questions we can take today. Any questions? Okay, Ritesh.
Hello,
Yes, Ritesh.
sir. Sir, you told that planets revolve around the sun. Then how the season will come? Like Kepler's law third, it will obey like Kepler's law third in Jupiter.
Can you rephrase? I think you're asking about the motion of planets around sun, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And how the Kepler law works. As I told you, friends, Ritesh, that these dynamics of all these things can be explained. The question what you asked requires a presentation again, but it really agrees. Yes, planets agrees to the Kepler law what you have talked about. But you require to answer your question, I need to prepare a presentation and explain you what exactly the Kepler law says and how exactly all this happens. So today my point was to make you observe these planets. So I have not touched about that one. Maybe sometime later we can do a presentation on that.
Sir, I asked that Jupiter will revolve around the sun.
Yes.
Now we will get in major axis or minor axis.
I think I could not get your question.
Sir,
Srinath sir can help me in this thing because Ritesh has last session also had very interesting questions.
No, it's a T square proportional to a cube, which is being followed for all planetary bodies around solar system. Whatever currently it is at the closest approach to the Earth, it is not closest approach to the Sun. This what he has explained today is the Sun Earth the Earth and Jupiter distance will be very close. That is the opposition. That's what he is trying to explain. And since you are at this one, what you call the winter equinox, which is there in the semi-major axis, right? If you take the winter equinox, whatever diagram he has shown, just behind the winter equinox, Jupiter is there, 27th onwards. Just put that orbit. You take there is one application called solar system scope. You put the I can show you that one where you can see the position of the Jupiter and Earth. Just try out, you will get the answer.
yes, sir.
I mean, at this moment I can tell that much only because it's a detailed discussion. You can do it. You please use Solar System Scope app where you can see the today's position of Earth and Jupiter.
Yes.
Ma'am, I think anybody else?
No, sir, maybe.
So,
Sure. Vishwamurthy, sir, maybe 1 minute, sir. We take this question.
Sir, good evening, sir. Good evening. Good evening, madam.
Good evening, sir.
Sir, actually now because all the planets are now rotating around the sun only. But why there is only Earth having a life? I mean, why not other planets are burden? I mean, totally it's nothing is there actually. So what is the reason actually?
Yeah. So as I told you, there are many things which we could have discussed in this thing, but of course, each question requires a lot of explanation. To answer your question in short, sir, we can see that Earth exactly is in the Goldilocks zone. Means Earth is not too close to Sun or not too far away. It is at the right place at the right time. Okay.
Not away. Yeah.
If you see Venus and Mercury, they are very close. Whereas if you see Mars, Jupiter, and all, they are very far from Sun. So they freeze over there and they here this is so hot. So we can say that because there are many conditions, of course, which were responsible for life on Earth. But one of the contributing factor was the position of Earth related to the means it is in the exactly the Goldilocks zone, what you call it as habitable zone.
No, the life was my question is life was never there, sir. Actually,
Life.
No, that is not very clearly known, sir. People still believe that on Mars life was there.
Okay. My network is down.
Life was there on Mars.
Thank
that there is a theory also. They are searching the life on Mars currently. Whatever the Perseverance rover which is there has a Raman spectrograph which is searching for the microorganic molecules. And we don't know whether Earth was only planet in the solar system which had life earlier or others were having. But as he said, the environment is not conducive in other planets to have a life. Whereas on Earth, you have all conducive elements to sustain, retain, and continue the life.
So, friends, I think you have a lot of interesting questions. But as I told you, we can these questions require separate presentations. So just now, one time we can have a session on Kepler laws, how the planetary motions exactly happen, and all those things that can be discussed, and also about the sun, its impact on our solar space weather, and all those things. And also, Sir has asked why life only on. So each requires a separate time. Maybe one series of astronomy can be done. And so I think thanks, ma'am, for being behind me, and also Srinath Garu for conducting this presentation. In fact, to tell you, friends, I have met Srinath sir very recently, and that also I visited ISFAR. There I could, when I met sir, we went to Gauri Bedinur, and in the return journey, somehow luckily we met madam also. So that's how this presentation has happened. So in future we'll have many this kind of presentations on various celestial events which are going to occur in coming days.
Thank you, Raghunandan. It was a good interaction. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your time and your knowledge. Thank you for sharing huge things which are upcoming days. We can observe those things. Thank you very much, sir.
And some details we'll put it in the group also, madam. Students.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can, sir.
Even my number also I will share to people. 799 348 2012. This is my WhatsApp number. We don't answer the call on this one. So friends, if you have any questions, you can just message me onto this one. I will try to answer it. Otherwise, I get some expert to help me out answering your questions in anything. And of course, all the celestial updates also will be shared through our group of Creative, and also in the status of this number. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank